Well, after catching up with all that I've been missing here since my trip to Reno, I can finally talk about the other stuff that has happened while I was at BLFC. First, I want to start with the final numbers for Biggest Little Fur Con. The final attendance that was announced was 5,692, which is a slight increase compared to last year. Now, I know they did not release it immediately, and from what I could gather, it was because that they were working on taking out the no-shows, that the ones that registered but did not show up. So they did not want to put that in the final count. So that's why it took so long for them to get that number out. But the charity number coming from their Twitter page is 32,249, which is a slight increase from last year, which was 30,146. So numbers slightly going up this year. So next year's theme is actually going to be a collaboration with 3 other cons, which are going to be in the same theme, which they're going to have a running story between all 4 of them. All of them will be a cyberpunk theme, which will be starting with Further Confusion, then Fur Squared, then Biggest Little Fur Con, and a 4th con which has yet to be announced as of yet. So this is interesting because BLFC has done some interesting stuff with themes before. They once had connected themes together over a couple of years. If you remember, back in I keep forgetting the year, 2016, I think. They had a 1984 theme going on, and the following year that all collapsed and went to a rebellion theme. So having them collaborate with 3 other conventions for just one theme, this is really something that's could be interesting for marketing. It'll be really draining to try to go to all 4 conventions if you want to go through the whole story. Further Confusion in January, Fur Squared in February, Biggest Little Fur Con in May, and like I said, I don't know what the 4th con is yet because they haven't announced it yet. Now, who could the other one be? That's the big question. I don't believe it's Anthrocon because they would have already put in the theme by now. What other ones could it be? Megaplex is a possibility. Well, so far we've had two conventions in the Pacific, one in the Midwest, and are we going to have one that's all the way east? I wonder if maybe Pine Fur Con. There's plenty of conventions it could go to, but like I said, I'm just speculating. So who knows? Well, we'll just have to wait until the announcement. Now, I put up my DJ set right by the pool. Now, the DJ booth is like facing towards the cabanas and away from the pool itself. It's right behind the pool, so chances are if you're in the pool you can hardly see me, but I'm like in a little tent thing. That's where I was playing. But I had thoughts of bringing back my DJ show, but this time just doing it maybe put it on YouTube. I would put them as unlisted just because I want to avoid copyright issues with those that made the tracks, because even just me just going around with a camera into conventions, if there's music in the background, someone's going to flag it and try to make money off of me. I don't make money off these videos. I just do these just to show my experience. But I would also do like a whole stream and just put it on my Dropbox and just let everyone just download it and listen to whenever they want. and it would be more focused on the music instead of doing my segments I did back in my original show a few years ago. Because I've been thinking of bringing it back just because I've had my stuff sitting around and I've been doing other stuff. So if it garners enough interest, I may bring it back, and if there is enough support, I might even throw in a Patreon. So we'll see what happens. But back to BLFC. There were a few things that they did change. I've mentioned in the con video that they put in a ticket system for the dealer's den. Now, some people were not happy about that because some of the stuff was sold. Some people were saying that the stuff at the vendors were sold out before they could even get in there. Now, I did not experience the ticket system myself because I went in there a little later than everybody else. I got in there at around 5 p.m., which is like 1 hour before the thing closed. There was even someone saying, and I think I experienced this, it seems like they closed it early. It was supposed to close at 6, but I saw like a guard cutting it off at like 5:30. Yeah, probably not the best thing to do. Of course, 30 minutes yet. They will give the announcement to finish up your purchases and head somewhere else. But yeah, the reason for them trying this is because that, as with any other public building, the fire marshal gives a specific number of people that room can hold maximum for safety reasons in case there's an emergency. If they go over that number, they or even the hotel can get into big trouble, and the fire marshal can shut them down because of that. So they're not turning away people just to be assholes. It's just that there's a rule that they have to follow. They can only allow so many people in at once. And of course, it is law in Nevada, and not just them. This is for any public space across the country. And I mean, the ticket system is something that they tried, not as clean as they wanted to do it as far as execution. So this is the first year they're trying, so they'll maybe try to clean up for next year. Like I said, I did not experience the ticket system myself just because that I went in a little later and they stopped giving out tickets then. The other issue was the elevators. There was one point I waited for the elevator for like 15 minutes and the line wasn't that long. I did find out though that there was a few elevators that were down, so they were working like 2 or 3 elevators. So that was a big inconvenience. Something that's out of BLFC's control, and something more of the Grand Sierra has to take care of themselves. But what they did to try to alleviate it was to use the service elevator to try to get people back to their rooms. So yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, and I really had to work hard to try to get my equipment down because I was almost late for sound check because of that. And of course, there's some other issues that it's more minor, which I won't get into. But you'll get problems like this when you become a really big convention. But I did do the casino. Luck wasn't going my way this year. Yeah, I did like the craps table like twice, and then the rest was like slot machines. But BLC is still one that I'll be going to. I mean, I love BLFC, and I'll be back for them. By the way, I will be DJing again at another con, which I will announce later, because they've requested me to hold off until they release the schedule themselves, which is something that I do anyway. I hold off until they make an announcement themselves. So keep an eye out for that. But what I will tell you is that my next convention is Megaplex in Orlando, Florida. Area that I am very, very familiar with. I'm just currently looking for room space and just work it from there. We got some awards that were given out. I'll first go with the Coyotl Awards. They're awarded annually by the Furry Writers Guild. This time it was announced at Furlandia in Portland. The first was Best Novel, which we had 6 entrants. And this included The Demon and the Fox by Tim Sussman, Silence of the Dragon by Madison Keller, Small World by Greg Lutterman, Space Unicorn Blues by T.J. Barry, and Tie Game by Kyle Gold. But the winner of Best Novel went to The Moons of Barsk by Lawrence M. Schoen. For Best Novella, there were only 2 entrants. The winner was Queen of Arts by Francis Pauly. The runner-up being Voyage of the Dogs by Greg Van Eekhout. Best Short Story. 5 entrants. We had The Only Harmless Great Thing by Brooke Bolander. A Road of Dust by... A Road of Dust and Honey by Sierska Grey Raven. Roses by also by Sierska Grey Raven. And Zoo by Ellen Denton. But the winner went to Saguaros by Watts Martin. And the last category was Best Anthology, which there's 3 entrants. The winner was Claw 1, which was edited by Casey Alpinus. I hope I pronounced that right. You know me, I'm bad with pronunciations. The runners-up were Descendant Signals, edited by Night Eyes Dayspring and Slipwolf, and Heat number 15, produced by Dark Inn and Tegan Gavitt. Then we have the Leo Awards. These are made by Furry Book Review, which these are determined by a group of judges who vote for multiple titles in each category. First, for novels, 4 entrants, there were 3 winners. The lone nominee that didn't get in was Small World by Greg Lutterman, which we already mentioned about the Coyotl Awards. There were 3 winners. The Demon and the Fox by Tim Sussman, Heirloom and of the Rusks by Lucas D'Aquina, and The Wonder Engine by Ursula Vernon, which I've mentioned her before, as she was the guest of honor of Anthrocon last year, if I recall correctly. Let me verify that just didn't... Yeah, I think it was Anthrocon that she was the guest of honor. She's been a guest of honor at Midwest Fur Fest twice, 2004, 2009. Further Confusion 2010, 2013. Eurofriends 2014. It had to be Anthrocon. I don't know why it's not mentioned in this. I'm sure it was Anthrocon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, Novellas, 3 entrants, 2 winners. The one that missed the cut was Silence of the Dragon by Madison Keller. The 2 winners are Queen of Arts by Frances Polly and The Snake's Song by Mary E. Loud. For anthologies, 7 entrants, 3 winners. The ones that missed the cut were Descendant Signals, edited by Night Eyes, Dayspring, and Slipwolf. Claw 1, edited by Casey Alpinus. 12 Days of Youthmas, edited by Thurston Howell. And Furry Trash, edited by J.F.R. Coates. The winners for the anthologies category were Typewriter Emergencies, edited by Weasel. Inferno, edited by Thurston Howell. And Roar 9, edited by Mary E. Loud. Short stories. We have a lot of entrants. How many? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 entrants. The ones that were nominated were Winged Day by Mary E. Loud, Damned If I Don't by Thurston Howell, Saguaros by Watts Martin, Resistance by David Sula, No Dogs by Casey Alpinus, and Not All Dogs by Mary Loud. The winners in the short stories category were The Promise by T.J. Mindy, A Road of Dust and Honey by Sierska Greyraven, House of Hares by Madison Keller, Roses by Sierska Greyraven, and Smokey and the Jaybird by Slipwolf. And finally, the book covers category, 5 entrants, 2 winners. The nominations were Perfect Tales by the art by Monori Rouge, Furry Trash, unknown artist, and Slashers, art by Stadilnik. The winners were Heat 15, the art by Maquinda and Bagheera. Maybe it's pronounced Bagheera. It reminds me of the character from Jungle Book. And Cold Blood, Fatal Fables, art by Lou Viergacht. Alright, so those are our winners for those awards. And now we'll go into... I want to get into quickly one movie update. This is one I have not talked about in the past few months because I haven't paid any attention to it. But there was supposed to be a Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out, which was slated for 2020. Looks like this one's going to be delayed because of an issue with the script. From what I have gathered, the creator of the game, Scott Cawthon, was working on the script with who is it? Jason Blum and Chris Columbus. They made the script, but Cawthon wanted to go a different direction, so they scrapped the whole script and they're starting again. So it looks like the release date for this movie is going to be pushed back for some time. However, in the meantime, there is a VR game that has come out which covers all 4 FNAF games, Vent Repair, Dark Rooms, Night Terrors, and it has a story in itself. Now let's get into upcoming events, and I did not realize how many events there were in the summer alone. Tomorrow's starting June 6th to the 10th, Method Minicon in Germany. Furry Picnic on the 8th in Connecticut. June 8th and 9th, Furry Penis, whatever. Alright, I probably shouldn't have said penis. Okay, that's probably not the correct pronunciation. This one's in the Philippines. Okay. I'm chuckling at myself now. Fur A, from the 13th to the 16th, Alberta, Canada. Where exactly? Edmonton. CastleCon from the 14th to the 16th in Germany. Furway, same date in Norway. Zodiacon from the 19th to the 26th, located in the Czech Republic. June 22nd to 29th, Lakeside Furs, which is located in... Where's it taken up this year? Salzburg. June 28th to 30th, Argentina Fur Fiesta, obviously in Argentina. Buenos Aires to be exact. And finally, June 28th to 30th, Northwest CampCon in Washington State. So that is all I have for now. So this Dragon's Mouth is now closing.